Down in the Matadero Valley, nestled amongst the hills outside San Francisco, sits a critically important research lab. Partially funded by the Pentagon, the computer scientists here built some of the most important inventions of our time, long before they were made available to the public. You're probably using any number of them to watch this video. And according to MIT tech expert Chunka Mui at Forbes, technology companies have collectively realized trillions of dollars in revenues and tens of trillions in market value because of this lab. Yet most Americans have never heard of this lab. This secret workshop made the world's first PC way back in 1973. They also invented Ethernet, graphical user interfaces, the laser printer, and modern word processing programs. In the 1980s, they had tablet computers similar to iPads, 2 decades before the rest of the world even heard of them. Chunka Mui also says, while they didn't invent the internet, their researchers made significant advancements and probably deserve half credit. Imagine, in the 1970s, there was a place where workers used personal computers with a mouse, clickable icons on the screen, email, and internet. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, got a sneak peek at this world, and it changed his life. Jobs visited the nondescript Matadero lab in 1979 and was amazed at what he saw. He caused quite a scene, according to the lab tech that escorted him, Larry Tesler. Jobs was pacing around the room, acting up the whole time. He was very excited. When he began seeing the things I could do on screen, he watched for about a minute and started jumping around the room shouting. Later, Jobs said this research lab's work was the best thing he'd ever seen. He immediately went home and instructed his own engineers at Apple to stop what they were doing and copy this lab's work. 4 years later, the first Macintosh personal computer came out. Apple stock soared 4,364% in 11 years. Apple is now worth $483 billion. One of the Matadero Lab's top engineers became Bill Gates' right-hand man at Microsoft, and he used his experience with what you see is what you get editing programs and clickable icons to create the Word and Windows products. Microsoft stock saw an unbelievable 59,302% gain in 13 years. Microsoft is now worth $343 billion. Another Matadero computer scientist started Adobe, the PDF reader and editing program that's used in workplaces throughout the world. Adobe Systems stock shot up 19,604% in 14 years. Adobe Systems is now a $32 billion company. As you can see, investors who know about this lab's work ahead of time tend to make a killing. Just $10,000 worth of early Microsoft stock would have returned $5,930,200. A multi-millionaire created with just one investment. Now the Matadero Lab is putting the finishing touches on a brand new technology, something the world has never seen. And it could have the same impact on the tech world as Apple, Microsoft, and Adobe Systems. This invention is at the center of an industry that's expected to grow 4,400% in the next 2 years to more than $45 billion. One company has the patent on this technology and works in partnership with the Matadero Lab. Investors who get in now before it goes to the mass market could make a fortune. What this Matadero Lab has created is a revolutionary new way to produce microchips that will have an impact on thousands of industries all at once. For instance, this invention is fixing a fatal flaw in 3D printers. Hi, my name is Tika Tawari. My investigative work has been featured on Fox Business and CNBC. I've spent the last few months researching this stunning breakthrough and how it could completely disrupt the world of technology. Let's start with 3D printers, a trendy industry amongst stock market investors. By now, almost everyone has heard of 3D printing. The idea of printing a pair of shoes or a new screwdriver without leaving the house has captured the imagination. The stock prices of 3D printing companies have soared. Stratasys up 343% in 2 years. 3D Systems Corp up 713% in 30 months. Autodesk Inc. up 377%. The Economist, a well-respected business magazine, said its impact would be so big it would start a third industrial revolution. But the truth is, today's 3D printers are already outdated, and in a matter of months, they'll be as obsolete as cassette tapes or VCRs. Why? Current 3D printers have one major flaw. They can only print a mold or replica of a solid object, a shirt, a hammer, a car door. They have not been capable of printing objects with microchips or circuits, so-called smart devices. What that means is you can print a car door in your garage right now using a 3D printer, but that door isn't actually complete. To add the computing equipment that's standard in every modern car, you'd have to do it the old-fashioned way, install it after the door's been made. There are no 3D printers capable of manufacturing advanced electronics and embedding it inside an object. Until now. You see, scientists in this Pentagon-sponsored lab in California have created the most advanced 3D printing technology to date. As a result, you could be printing smart devices in your own home or business very soon. And you don't have to know a thing about electronics to do it. This new invention uses Gutenberg's 600-year-old secret to print anything with the microchips already inside, both the object and the intelligence simultaneously created by one machine. The MIT Technology Review says this invention could revolutionize the way electronics are made. 3D printing expert Eddie Krasenstein, the managing editor of 3dprint.com, says, "This technique blows previous electronic printing systems out of the water. There is no reason to doubt that one day we will all be printing electronics in the comfort of our own homes. Imagine printing a personalized iPhone in your garage or even a smart TV. You could print a shirt with tiny computers and sensors in it. The shirt could monitor your heart rate for training. Or if you're diabetic, it could constantly monitor your blood sugar for dips. Special helmets with advanced electronics can be printed and used to measure head trauma in a soldier or a high school football player. Smart bandages can be used to monitor wounds for infection automatically. Heck, the packaging on your milk carton can have a smart sensor and a tiny microchip printed in it to send you a message when it's past the expiration date. The brand new invention created in this California lab makes this all possible. These scientists have found a unique way to print high-powered microchips more cheaply and efficiently than ever before, and it's creating a whole new source of wealth for tech companies. The lab itself estimates the market will grow by $45 billion in the next 2 years. One major tech CEO says it could generate $19 trillion in revenue by 2020. Besides just the profits, the impact this invention will have on the future of the world is almost immeasurable. But the secret behind this technology goes back nearly 600 years to the Mainz workshop where the first printing press was created. Most history buffs know that Johann Gutenberg invented the printing press in 1439 in his Mainz workshop. His Gutenberg Bible changed the course of history and created several large fortunes over the centuries. But there's another part to the story you probably didn't know. Despite inventing the printing press, Johann Gutenberg died penniless and alone. In fact, in his time, he was completely discredited and robbed of any profits. A greedy investor put a mole in Gutenberg's shop. He reported back on every detail of Gutenberg's work. Eventually, the investor sued Gutenberg for taking too long. Just as he was printing his first so-called Gutenberg Bibles, his workshop was seized. In court, Gutenberg lost. Everything he had was gone. His good name was destroyed. Gutenberg was crushed. Meanwhile, the investor took all the glory. Using Gutenberg's handcrafted tools and materials, he printed books by the score and reaped a financial windfall. But there was one thing the mole missed, a critical scientific discovery only Gutenberg understood. And as I'll show you in a moment, this secret could mint quite a few millionaires in the coming years. You see, modern scientists studied Gutenberg's first Bibles and were astounded by what they found. Gutenberg had used a metal-based ink made mostly from lead that was boiled into a liquid. Because it was made of metals, the ink had special properties. Its thickness allowed Gutenberg to embed pieces of graphite into the ink. Those pieces stuck in place on the page. The graphite pieces helped Gutenberg's Bibles keep their color for centuries. The other Bibles did not. Now this magic ink is being put to use in this high-tech California computer lab. Except these days, they're using a silver-based ink. And instead of graphite, they found a way to embed complex microchips into the ink. The MIT Technology Review described the breakthrough this way in a recent profile. It's filled with lots of boring technical jargon, but here's what they said in plain English. With this special ink, a jet is added onto the 3D printer that can print and place microchips exactly where they're needed. Those microchips can be added to any kind of surface or material. You can literally put a computer in anything. As it's improved, this technology will get cheaper and cheaper. More people will have access to its incredible benefits. The influence on intelligence, science, business, and politics will be massive. Nearly everything you own will have a smart device inside it. As I'll show you in a moment, there's a chance at once-in-a-lifetime profits if you're ahead of the trend. The kinds of profits previously reserved for early investors in Apple and Microsoft. Like I mentioned before, my name is Teeka Tiwari. I'm a millionaire many times over thanks to my work with a number of successful hedge funds. I used to manage a private hedge fund so popular we had to close it to new investors. My insight has been featured on Fox Business, CNBC, and The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. But I'm not telling you this to brag. I started as a kid flipping burgers for Roy Rogers in the morning and bagging groceries at night. I begged to get my first job on Wall Street. I've come a long way since then, and it's all because of a key investing secret I learned. You see, I believe making money in the stock market isn't about trading in and out of stocks every day, looking to cash in on small gains. I discovered long ago that the key to reaping a fortune is to make 3 or 4 really big calls and ride them up. That's why I've devoted my professional life to identifying enormous trends right when they start. For example, in 2003, I put all of my retail brokerage clients into Apple. It might sound funny now, but at the time, people thought I was crazy. Apple was supposed to be on the verge of bankruptcy. But I had read incredible predictions about their new technologies, and I saw a deal. At the time, Apple was trading below $2, split adjusted. Now those same shares are worth over $100 a piece. Around the same time, I recommended my clients buy shares of Diamond Offshore and Transocean, two oil services and drilling companies. Oil was depressed. These companies weren't making any money. Again, people thought I was nuts. But as the growth in China and India kicked into full gear, these stocks soared. Transocean went from around $20 a share to over $158, a 690% gain. If you were one of my clients and put $10,000 into both Transocean and Apple, you could have made nearly $600,000. There's no trick here, just honest work. I pour over 10K reports and detailed analysis every single day so I can spot these trends first and reap the biggest gains. Right now, the shift is in the technology industry. I believe this newly patented breakthrough will end up being just as big as any of the Matadero Lab's other inventions, perhaps even bigger. In fact, a whole industry is cropping up around this invention and its ability to put computers in everything. Tech experts are calling it the Internet of Things, or IoT for short. The average American hasn't heard of it yet, but at this year's Consumer Electronics Show, Cisco CEO John Chambers said it would generate $19 trillion in revenue by 2020. It will be bigger than anything that's ever been done in high tech, he said. What is the Internet of Things? The big breakthrough of the Internet was that it connected people through email, websites, file sharing, etc. But as we move forward, almost everything we own will have a computer in it. The water heater, a shirt, the refrigerator. The Internet of Things will help all of those devices communicate with each other automatically. The result will drastically increase the efficiency of the systems we rely on to power our lives, and it will help us monitor far more information with much less work. Smart factories, buildings, and homes are popping up everywhere. Cities and their energy grids are becoming more and more connected. These smart grids will communicate and automatically divert energy from where it's not being used to where it's needed, saving money and eliminating waste. Japan already uses sensors on their highways that are wirelessly connected with displays that warn drivers of congestion and alternate routes. But with the Matadero Lab's development of silver ink capable of printing microchips into any object or surface, the IoT is about to kick into high gear. This invention gives manufacturers, and for the moment, a few lucky individuals, an extremely cheap way to add intelligence to all kinds of objects. Not only will they be able to put powerful computing devices into everything, from shirts to pillboxes to refrigerators, but companies can offer an extreme level of personal customization to each of those objects. We're still in the early stages of development for the Internet of Things, said Janelle Garvin, Chief Executive of Evans Data Corporation. But at the same time, the required technologies are now converging with cloud, big data, embedded STEMs, real-time event processing, even cognitive computing, combining to change the face of the technological landscape we live in, and developers are leading the way. Evans recently conducted a survey of developers and found that 17% are already working on IoT-related applications. An additional 23% say they're expecting to begin IoT projects in January 2015. Just like home computers, wireless internet, and the iPhone, the Internet of Things will sweep over all of our lives before we notice it. Sharp investors can see the potential profits coming very soon. Many of them are positioning themselves for major gains from the IoT. Billionaire Julian Robertson, the retired former head of the Tiger Management Hedge Fund, is heavily invested in the IoT, as is his former firm. Goldman Sachs senior analyst Simona Jankowski says it's the lucrative third wave of the internet. Other billionaire hedge fund managers like Chuck Royce, Jim Simons, and Dmitry Balsny are also betting on the Internet of Things. It's clear this is truly the next huge trend in technology, and you could be at the forefront as an investor. Today, I'd like to send you my full, easy-to-understand wealth blueprint for the Internet of Things. Specifically, I'll show you how to play the situation for potentially massive profits on the stock market. As far as I can tell, this is the first and most comprehensive IoT profit report of its kind. The Internet of Things Wealth Blueprint contains 3 reports with 6 unique ways to make exponential gains on the stock market. Even better, all of this valuable information is yours today for free. The first urgent report in this package is about the Matadero Lab and its invention that makes the Internet of Things possible. It's called the Next Trillion-Dollar Trend in Technology. And inside, I'll explain this invention in further detail. I'll tell you more about the Matadero Lab's remarkably lucrative history. And most importantly, I'll share the name of the only company who holds a patent on this printable electronics breakthrough. They're a publicly traded company, and their share price could go through the roof over the next few years, just like Apple, 4,364%, and Microsoft, 59,302% did. I'll show you how to get this report and the whole Internet of Things Wealth Blueprint for free in a moment. First, there are a number of other technologies needed to make the IoT work, each presenting an additional way for you to make a fortune. Wi-Fi is the system in your home that allows you to connect to the internet wirelessly. Today, Wi-Fi is only strong enough to span a small area, like your home or office. But as the Internet of Things takes off, Wi-Fi is going to become a whole lot more powerful. It will need to be. To make the Internet of Things work, the signal needs to cover miles, not just a few hundred square feet in your home. According to IMS research, there will be more than 22 billion web-connected devices by 2020. Of those 22 billion devices, more than 50% are predicted to need long-range connectivity and multi-year battery operation. 2 very important companies are stepping into that void. The first makes microcontrollers, or the devices that act as the brains inside things like remote controls, video game controllers, and garage door openers. These devices will be in high demand in the coming years. And this company is using a brand new technology that gives their microcontrollers long-range, low-power connectivity that hasn't been available to this point. They're not the only company in the field, but this advanced technology will make them a market leader. They also have a large number of patents to protect them from competition. As their devices take over the market, I think we could see a huge move in share price. And who knows how high they could go as the Internet of Things permeates our daily lives by the year 2020, when it's predicted to be a $19 trillion market. The second company is already partnered with Google to build the first nationwide cloud-based Wi-Fi network, one capable of letting anyone or anything connect to the internet from anywhere at high speeds. This company is the leader in this long-range Wi-Fi niche, critical to the future of the Internet of Things. With Google, they plan to allow small and medium-sized businesses to access this Wi-Fi cloud anywhere, anytime. In any large-scale Wi-Fi network, such as one rolled out in a corporate headquarters or in an airport, a Wi-Fi controller manages access to hundreds of different Wi-Fi access points. This allows devices to connect to the network as a whole, not just individual portals. By putting the controller in the cloud, this company moves it from the physical network. It can hook tens or even hundreds of thousands of individual access points scattered throughout the world onto the same virtual network. Their affiliation with Google on this major innovation will become mainstream news very soon. When it does, I see a potential triple in share price in the works. I'll give you the names of these two publicly traded companies and a whole lot more expert analysis in my newly written special report, The Two Companies Essential to Connecting the Internet of Things. I'll send you this report electronically for free right now, along with your other free report, The Next Trillion-Dollar Trend in Technology, as part of your IoT Wealth Blueprint. I only ask one favor. Give my monthly newsletter, Teeka Tiwari's Megatrend Investing, a risk-free try. What is Megatrends? Megatrends Investing is a monthly newsletter designed to put the next big money-making ideas in your hands, before your broker hears about them, before they're in mainstream TV reports, and most importantly, before their low-price shares go up. How do I do it? I wish I could say there's some magic bullet that makes it all easy, but the answer is more boring than that. It takes hard work and attention to detail. It took a lot of research to get where I am today, and it's something I still take very seriously. I've lost track of how many newspapers I read every day. Every week I dig into a new academic study on the markets, some of them hundreds of pages long. I pour through 10K reports of all types of companies looking for an edge. The truth is, 95% of the stuff I read never helps me make any money. But that other 5% can be worth a fortune. That's how you find hidden opportunities on the verge of a breakout, like the Internet of Things and the invention cooked up in the California lab. These are the kinds of opportunities I've used to make hedge fund clients rich. But the truth is, most individual investors don't have the type of money required to invest in a hedge fund. But there is a way to get access to my research without the high price tag. And it's through my Megatrends Investing. You see, each month I publish my latest research to a select group of subscribers. They get the benefits of my research without having to do any of the work. Each month, I send out a briefing, an in-depth report on the latest trends and opportunities on Wall Street, along with video briefings and valuable question and answer sessions. I'll use my years of experience on the street to identify the best way for you to play these trends for maximum profit while also keeping your investments as safe and low risk as possible. The last part is very important to me. I learned my lesson the hard way, so you don't have to. My story is truly the story of the American dream. As a kid, tough times had swept me into the English foster care system, an experience I'd rather not revisit. I decided I wanted something else out of my life. So I left England for New York at the age of 16 with $150 in my pocket and the clothes on my back. Growing up poor made me become one of the most driven people in New York City. I flipped burgers by day and bagged groceries at night. I practically begged a Wall Street executive to give me a shot at his firm. Just a couple of years later, I became the youngest vice president in the history of Shearson Lehman. I made my first million in my early 20s. By my late 20s, I knew my family was financially taken care of. Then I made a devastating mistake. In 1998, I made a couple of really big bets on the Asian financial crisis. I knew the market was going to collapse and started selling short. In the beginning, the trade went great. The stock market fell apart in October 1998. But then the Federal Reserve dropped interest rates to avert a panic. All my positions turned against me, but I was so convinced I was right, I put up even more money. Turned out, I wasn't. I lost everything that mattered to me as a man, both personally and professionally. I literally thought about throwing myself in front of a train that day. But instead, I dusted myself off and took full advantage of my second chance. In a few years' time, I made my money back. And from that day forward, I vowed never to take unnecessary risks with my money or my clients' money. A lot of guys will tell you about their winners, but I'm sharing this story about my biggest loss today because it's extremely important. I have an almost obsessive aversion to risk. That's why I demand a few things out of every investment I recommend to you. It must have a history of safety. That means it's well capitalized with only a small amount of debt. I want my companies to be able to weather any financial storm. It's got to be undervalued. I won't go into all of the details on how I determine value. You can learn that on the Megatrends website. But rest assured, I'm looking for undervalued companies and sectors with lots of cash on hand. This philosophy has worked well in the last year since I started writing Megatrends Investing for the Palm Beach Research Group in Delray Beach, Florida. Right now, my open portfolio is up a cumulative 333%, and that includes the winners and losers. We also have a plan of action to cut losers quickly, which I'll teach you. Even before I started writing Megatrends, I built a legion of followers who appreciated my safe but successful style. 66-year-old Don Oxley in Southern California sent this flattering note. I have tried many financial products and newsletters over the years, and Tica's is superior to the others on several levels. Using his position sizing technique has helped me sustain and grow my account consistently. I recommend you get on board with Tica. Your account will thank you. Mark Costas in North Texas said I helped him generate annualized gains of 430%. And Chad Ingot, a 63-year-old retired engineer who lives on his sailboat in the San Francisco Bay Area, tells me he made $20,000 in 2 weeks thanks to my research and recommendations. His letter went on to say, most organizations are just trying to sell newsletters and really have limited experience, whereas Tica has real market experience. I cannot think of a better mentor to take your knowledge to the next level. Right now, the undervalued asset I'm most excited about is the company behind the Silver Ink breakthrough. It's capable of printing microchips on any surface or material. In my special report, The Next Trillion-Dollar Trend in Technology, I'll show you exactly how much money this company stands to make in the next few years. I'll also show you why they're currently undervalued and ignored. I'll fill you in on the details before the rest of the world hears about them. This report can be yours free right now, but that's just one part of my Internet of Things wealth blueprint. No one else has this kind of timely, profitable information on this cutting-edge industry. In this exclusive package, you'll learn how to play the Internet of Things from every angle. The Matadero Labs invention is like the factory for the Internet of Things. In my second report, the two companies essential to connecting the Internet of Things, I'll show you the core technology necessary to run the IoT. This is the pick and shovel play, and it could prove lucrative as high-tech nationwide Wi-Fi rolls out in the next couple of years. These reports are yours when you subscribe today. You'll also get 12 issues, one a month of Megatrends, each with a new investment recommendation. Plus, every 2 weeks, I open my mailbox and record a video that answers readers' biggest questions and updates our stock positions. Please note, because of SEC rules, I cannot give individual investment advice. You'll also get one other huge benefit when you become a Megatrends subscriber, something I haven't seen anyone else offer. When you sign up for Megatrends, I'll give you a full year to decide if my research is right for you. If you're not satisfied for any reason at all during the first 12 months, simply call or email our customer service team and you'll receive a full refund, no questions asked. And I'll let you keep everything I send you over those 12 months, including your Internet of Things Wealth Blueprint, yours free with a subscription to Megatrends. My publishers tell me this kind of deal is almost unheard of. You might see a 30-day or even a 3-month money-back guarantee, but as far as I know, no one is offering a full year to try the service at no risk. Of course, I don't think many other newsletters offer my level of experience and history of success in the markets. Look, I can tell you all of this until I'm blue in the face, but I know the only way for you to find out is to try Megatrends for yourself and let me prove it to you. That's why I'm making this offer, because I'm confident after you've had a few months to read my research and see the kinds of stock market gains I'll show you, you'll be more than satisfied. You'll be a subscriber for life. So how do you sign up for Megatrends investing and how much does it cost? I'll show you how to accept this trial offer in a moment. But first, let me share the third and perhaps most exciting part of your IoT Wealth Blueprint. This opportunity just came across my desk. Get this, there's a tiny company on the verge of signing a partnership deal with Apple, yet very few people know how big this company could be. One of the first ways the Internet of Things is already affecting our lives is through wearable electronics. Things like Google Glass and Apple's new iWatch are prime examples. Another place wearable electronics is taking off is in sports apparel, things that can monitor your heart rate and send you feedback on your workout. I just uncovered a company rumored to be on the verge of signing a major deal with Apple. You see, this company manufactures the tiny chips used in these cutting-edge devices. These chips are already a market leader in smart grid energy technology. With 1 billion smart meters to be installed by 2020, their profit potential is already picking up. But the biggest story about this company is the Apple iWatch itself. Nothing has been confirmed, but most tech experts believe this company won the rights to make the chips inside the iWatch and the new iPhone 6. Estimates are that this deal alone would add nearly $329 million in additional sales. On top of that, they already make the chips in the latest Samsung Galaxy phone. When a deal with Apple is officially announced, I believe their share price could potentially double in just a few days. And even if the announcement is delayed, the company's proprietary technology will only grow in demand. In other words, this is a short-term and a long-term play. But they're not the only company making big moves into the wearable electronics market. I've put together a comprehensive report specifically on wearable electronics and ways you could make an immediate profit. It's called The Apple Effect: 3 wearable electronic companies ready to take off. This is the third and most urgent part of your Internet of Things wealth blueprint. The blueprint includes the other two special reports, the next trillion-dollar trend in technology, and the two companies essential to connecting the Internet of Things. And the whole package is yours for free today when you take a 12-month trial subscription to Megatrends Investing. Here's how to claim your bundle right away. 1 year of Megatrends costs $99. To me, that's a great deal, especially when you consider just one of my picks could make you $20,000, just like it did for Chad Ingot. But today, I'm going to offer you an even better deal. Right now, for a limited time only, you can get a year's worth of my research for less than dinner at a 3-star restaurant. You'll pay just $49 for an entire year of my work, and you'll receive all of this. 12 issues of Teeka Tiwari's Megatrends, my monthly research advisory sent to your inbox the second Thursday of every month. IoT Wealth Blueprint Report Number 1, the next trillion-dollar trend in technology. IoT Wealth Blueprint Report Number 2, the two companies essential to connecting the Internet of Things. IoT Wealth Blueprint Report Number 3, the Apple Effect, 3 wearable electronic companies ready to take off. Plus, once a month between issues, you'll receive my monthly minutes. This is a video I put together which I'll send you by email. Inside, you'll learn about any changes to our recommended plays, any new developments in the markets that can't wait until the next issue, and I'll answer general questions or comments I've received from you and other subscribers. Why such a low price for Megatrends? Well, we're still in our first year of publication, and I figure the best advertising for my research is for you to see my work yourself. That's why I've made it as easy as possible to subscribe. But I must warn you, demand for Megatrends is surging, and we could pull this offer once we meet our threshold. Take advantage of it today before it's gone and the price of Megatrend rises. Remember, you'll also have a full year to evaluate my work. If at any point during the first 12 months you decide it's not right for you, then contact my customer care department and you'll receive a full refund. No matter what, you must act quickly to get into these Internet of Things investments before the rest of the world catches on. Early investors in Apple and Microsoft made up to 59,302%. I believe you have the same opportunity to build your own tech fortune here. The sooner you get in, the more money you could make. Don't delay any further. Get your free special reports sent to your inbox right away. Simply click on the subscribe now button below this box to sign up. P.S. When you take a trial subscription to Megatrends, there's one more piece of research I'd like to give you at no additional charge. It involves a secret investment that Warren Buffett himself is pumping money into. If he's right, your gains could be 600% or more. Click the subscribe now button and check out the order form for more details.